Hello friends, and welcome to another Origins of Expressions. Today, we'll be going over the phrases hit the hay, the last straw, find a needle in a haystack. What do they all have in common? They're all phrases and idioms around hay. Let's get right to work and start this video. Hay or straw is that dried grass and plant matter that services as animal food and fulfills our home's needs. Whether it is to feed your livestock, weave a basket, or soften your bed, hay has been part of our lives for a very long time. So it is no surprise that we have hay phrases and expressions in our language. Today, we will go over 3 idioms about hay. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Hit the hay. Hit the hay means that you're going to bed to get some rest. I'm going to hit the hay. The term hay was used in the USA to mean bed since the early 20th century. It is wordplay from when mattresses were filled with hay or beds were lined with straw. The word hit from hit the hay is from when you fall into bed. Your head hits the mattress, which used to be filled with hay. And just like that, the term hit the hay was born. The first written record seemed to happen from the sports scene in 1903, the Oakland Tribune. They wrote, Sam Berger, the Olympic heavyweight, was sleepy, and he announced that he is going to hit the hay. This saying started out in different forms before 1903. Some of the other ways you might hear about going to bed and hay is to crawl into the hay or hit the sack. Today we still use the saying as a fun way to say that we are tired and we are going to bed. An example sentence is, it has been a long day. I'm going to hit the hay. Well, let's let them rest as we quietly move into our next phrase. The last straw. The last straw means the final additional small burden that makes the entirety of one's difficulties unbearable. Ugh, that was the last straw. This phrase started out a bit longer than what we see today. The original saying was, the last straw which breaks the camel's back. Now you might think, straw is light. How can that break a camel's back? Well, a lot of small things can add up to be a big heavy pile. And just like the phrase, the last straw might be the one that makes the pile too heavy to handle. The first written history where this phrase was used was in the Edinburgh Advertiser in 1816. It read, Yet straw upon straw was laid till the last straw broke the camel's back. Some scholars suggest that the phrase is taken on an old proverb that reads, It is the last feather that breaks the horse's back. But this phrase is for another video. Today, we still use the phrase in its shortened version, the last straw. We use it to say that we cannot take it anymore. We are done, fed up. An example sentence is, It had been a difficult week, so when the car broke down, it was the last straw. Let's hope their week gets better as we move into our next phrase. Find a needle in a haystack. Find a needle in a haystack means something is difficult to find. Well, that's like finding a needle in a haystack. You've probably lost something small before, like your keys or maybe even your phone. After searching every nook and cranny, you finally find them. Phew! However, looking for a needle in a haystack, as the saying goes, is far more challenging. You're trying to find an object, like a small needle in this case, in a large stack of hay. This can be quite hard, if not impossible for some people. The needle and the hay are so similar that it can be easily overlooked. This saying and others around the same idea have been used for hundreds of years in our language to express difficulty finding something. One of the first written records of a similar saying goes, to go looking for a needle in a meadow, from Thomas More in 1532. But the first written record where the phrase was the same as what we use today was in the complete works of Washington Irving in 1834. It reads, If I want to find any particular article, it is, in the language of an humbled but expressive saying, looking for a needle in a haystack. Today, we still use the phrase to state that what we are looking for seems impossible or very hard to find. An example sentence is, "We spent 2 hours looking for you at the festival, but it was like trying to find a needle in a haystack." Wow, that's a big place. Let's get out of here before we get lost. Ooh, fun fact. Did you know that the English language has many words that are different but mean the same thing? Yep, that's right. And today we're going to look at one word, fields. You know, that open grassy plain where many grasses and wildflowers grow? Other than just calling this a field, we also call it a clearing, ground, lot, parcel, plain, plat, plow, tract, green, grassland, lawn, hearthland, meadow, pasture, foothold, range, and a ranch. Phew, that's a lot. There are many words that are similar to this in the English language. There are many words to express just one thing. The reason we see this is because each of these words is to help express a different situation or meaning. There are many other words that can be used for fields. This is just a small list. Do you know any others? Or maybe you know another object that has many words to explain it. Leave them in the comments. I'd love to see them. Well, that's all the information I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed learning about the origins of our idioms and our phrases. I would love to have you subscribe if you did. I hope finding and hitting the subscribe button is easier than finding a needle in a haystack. If you find it, make sure you hit it. I would really appreciate it. Oh yeah, quick question before you go. Do you know any idioms or phrases around hay? Maybe you know other idioms or phrases on an entirely different subject. I would love to see them. Leave them in the comments below. And you know, if I use one of your phrases, I'll give you a shout out. Thank you again for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate your support. Until next time, bye.